And it's Ken Kraetzer for CaMMVetsMedia. We're at West Point. Have a chance to talk Army hockey with the head coach, Brian Riley. Coach, good to see you. Start of another season, and it's going to be a special season. You elected to retire at the end of this one. What's it like?
Yeah, so first of all, great to see you, Ken. Hockey season kind of sneaks up on you, right? So here we are getting ready for our first game. Our guys have worked extremely hard starting last March, right through the spring, and when they came back here, late summer, early fall. And for me personally, this year's probably going to go by pretty fast, and knowing that it's my last one. But bittersweet making the announcement, but I know that the time is right, and nobody's bigger than the program. And for me, knowing that Zach McKelvey is here, he's one of the best young coaches in all of college hockey. So I'm really excited for him, and I know that he's going to bring this program to new heights.
Well, we talked a little bit about your dad coaching here in the old rink and leading the American Olympic team to the 1960 gold medal, and then your brother coaching, and then you following and having a superlative career here at West Point. What's been a couple of highlights for you?
Well, for me, I think number one, I still pinch myself that I'm the head coach here at West Point. I pinch myself that I have the opportunity to be a coach at West Point. Never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined growing up here at West Point that I would have had this opportunity. West Point is such an amazing place. I was very fortunate to have been raised here, and then my wife and I were able to raise our kids here. Just really, really fortunate to, to be able to experience that. For me, the biggest highlight are the relationships, right? Not only with the players and the fellow staff members that I've been able to work with, but people like yourself. I'm gonna miss the opportunity to be able to talk with somebody like you or a lot of other people. But I'm just really, really grateful for, I'll never, ever be able to thank West Point enough for what they've done for me and what they've done for the Riley family over the last 75 years.
Well, absolutely. Now you're starting the season. You're going up to Union to play on Sunday. You got a trip to Orono and a very interesting game the weekend of the Army-Navy game. You're going to play down in Washington against Penn State. Tell us a little bit about your early season.
Yeah, so once again, we start off with Union. We were not very good against them last year, so this will be a test for our young team again. But then we have an opportunity to have an exhibition game against Maine, so more experience gained by our younger guys, and we'll be able to, I think, throw in 2 or 3 goalies during that game because we don't have a lot of experience there. And then, of course, that game down in D.C., obviously playing against such a formidable opponent in Penn State. But I remember growing up at West Point, the highlight was being able to go to the Army-Navy game. All the kids on the block, we'd stay in the Ben Franklin Hotel down there. And so now, to be able to go down and, like I said, play against a Big Ten school on Thursday, bring the team to the Pentagon on Friday, and then, of course, go to the game. It looks like there could be a lot riding on that game. So I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Well, it should be terrific. Now, tell us about your team. Now, I understand you lost a couple of players, transfer portal factor coming into college hockey. Tell us about this year's team.
Yeah, so that's the hard thing, Ken, right? It's hard getting old when people are coming in and taking your good young players, right? Luckily, we still feel that we have a strong nucleus of older guys, but our yearling class, that's a really good class, a lot of good players. We like our plebe class. The bottom line is we're just young again. So we'll hopefully gain experience this first half of the season with these young guys, and hopefully that will translate into them being a confident group and playing our best hockey coming down the stretch.
Absolutely. Now, at West Point, we always talk about character development and leadership development. You've trained in your players, virtually hundreds of players who are now served in the U.S. Army, distinguished themselves. How do the players develop their character and their leadership skills in your program?
Well, West Point's a preeminent leadership institution in the world, so they get a taste of leadership every single day that they're here. And certainly up here, we realize that our program is a part of the academy. So it's really, really important for us to make sure that we take a great deal of pride in helping to shape and develop our young men into being future leaders, leaders that are going to lead this nation's sons and daughters. So that's probably one of the, I think, highlights of coaching at West Point, that you play such an important role in the development of these young men to be the leaders that they're going to be when they graduate from the academy.
Now, tell us about your assistant who's going to follow and try and follow in your footsteps, Zach.
Yeah, well, Zach McKelvey, I already told him that we're gonna get a name change for him, so it'll be Zach McKelvey Riley. And no, you know, Zach was a great player here. You know, he embodied everything that it means to be an Army hockey player. He was not only a great representative of the program, but more importantly, a great representative of this institution. And I've had the great fortune of being side by side with him for the last 10 years. And honestly, Ken, like, I've just tried to stay out of his way. I think, like I said earlier, one of, if not the best young coaches in all of college hockey. And I think it's really important that the program will be getting somebody that loves the program, because he poured his heart and soul into it as a player and a coach. But he loves this institution, and like, you can see the twinkle in his eye when he talks about being a player and a graduate of the academy. So I can't wait to just watch him. Like I said, I truly believe that he's going to bring this program to new heights.
Well, I have to say, as a Providence alumni, my fellow alumni and people from the team were so appreciative of your help and guidance the year they went to the NCAA tournament, ended up winning the national championship, and how much you were with them that tournament weekend up in Boston. They really appreciated it.
Yeah, you know, the college hockey world's a small world, and when I had the opportunity to serve on the Division I championship committee, I got to know a lot of these programs up close and personal, and of course PC was one of them. Just a first-class organization, and you know, it was amazing to be on, you know, the sidelines and just kind of watch what they did that year and create a memory that will last forever at Providence College.
I have to ask you, as someone who is an expert in college hockey, been in the field for many, many years, what's the impact of the transfer portal and NIL on the sport? We know what its impact on football and basketball, but what's the impact on college hockey?
No, it's the same. You know, obviously I'm not a big fan of it. I understand times change, but it's almost like pro sports. You know, the guys, if they don't like how things are going for them, they just pick up and leave. And I just don't think it teaches the right things to our student athletes. But again, that's my opinion, being old school and you know, but now what you see in football and basketball is trickling down to hockey. We lost, you know, 3 really good players last year to the transfer portal. And the tough thing for us is when our transfer portal opens, our application deadline has passed here at West Point. So when 3 really good players come in and say that they're going into the portal, we can't even go out and try to get anybody to replace them. So I hope it kind of figures its way out, because right now it's I think it's out of control, and some changes need to be made. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, Ken, if in a year or two you're going to see contracts, and guys are going to be, all right, hey, I'm going to sign a contract to be at your school for 2 years, and if they try to leave after one, then they're going to have to go and sit out. I guess it's pro sports right now, and it's not something that I have been familiar with during my 40 years of coaching at the college level. So I'm sure that Zach will figure out a way how to navigate his way around this.
I always say it's got to be about education, getting a degree, and preparing for the next 40 years of your life. And I wish more athletes saw that. The athletes here at West Point do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're called student athletes. They're not called athlete students. And certainly at West Point, they're student athletes, you know. So that's never going to change here. And that's a good thing. Like, that's one of the great things about coaching here at West Point. It's more than the sport, right? So much more than the sport. And it gets back to what I was telling you earlier about playing a role in helping to shape young men and, of course, women here at West Point to be future leaders of our country. And a lot of their leadership skills, many of the athletes, I know many hockey players would say, came as a result of being an Army hockey player. So that's something that you take a lot of pride in. Absolutely.
What's next for you? I can tell from personal experience, retirement can be busier than when you're working. All those special projects you put off now, it's time to do them.
Well, I don't know about special projects because I'm not really Mr. Handyman, so I'm not good at that. So I better find something else to do, and that's my hope. Like, obviously, I'm going to be the biggest fan of this program and all of the Army sports. I mean, that's I so enjoy having the opportunity to be around all the cadet athletes and coaches. So hopefully, I'll continue to do that while finding something that will keep me occupied from 8 to 4 every day.
Well, Brian Riley, head coach Army hockey, just a delight to work with you over these years. We got another good season coming up, and just a delight. And thank you for all the time you spent with us and being so cordial and doing our talks after many of the games.
Well, Ken, gratefully, this isn't our last time. Like we will share a few more of these, but like I said earlier, for me, the biggest thing about coaching has been the relationships and people like you who, promote this academy, right? Like you can feel the passion for the place every time I see you. So I really appreciate what you do for West Point, and hopefully we'll be able to share a few more special memories here this year.
Absolutely looking forward to it. Army head coach of hockey, Brian Riley, great to see you, and we'll look forward to seeing as you start your season very soon.
All right, Ken, it's been great spending